Welcome back to Vampire Survivors. It's me, Dex, and today, as the title reads, or at least the stream title, I don't know what YouTube will have for title, I'm preparing the ultimate... That was loud. I'm preparing the ultimate gold record run. Now, what has this to do with Imelda? What am I doing here, right? Like, what's the point? Well, the last stream, right, when I managed to get the 13.6k and we still died, I was thinking about something, right? I mentioned something. I said, hey, I wish I could reroll, or like return, reset, whatever, the achievements that we got, because this would allow us to limit us only to the weapons and the items that we actually want to have in the game. Now, it's not as easy as that. Ooh, that was nearly a mistake. It's not as easy as that, right? You can't just pick and choose, because certain things you always have from the get-go of the game. Other achievements like play for 1 minute. How do you want to avoid that? That's impossible. But it turns out, if you would be able to restart your game back to zero, no achievements, there are a lot of weapons and items. Not that many, but there are also not that many in the game. That you can avoid entirely. And that's what I'm doing right now. I tried to look into how to reset the game, and it was actually quite simple. There's a folder that just allows you to copy out the stuff that is in there, and it just re-downloads it. Now, one issue, but this issue I dealt with in the past previously, what else is it supposed to be? Obviously, it's previously, okay, whatever. So, when I was playing Monster Hunter World, if you watch Monster Hunter Rise, then you know that I'm a player who loves to play one weapon type per character. So that means I only play this weapon type per character, or per account. And if I want to play another weapon, then I do an entirely new run with that character. Like an entirely new save game. I don't just switch and craft the stuff. I want to start from get-go, from zero. Which is problematic, because the game only has 3 save slots, but there's a very simple function in Steam. You can just disable cloud saving, and then you can just rename the save folder. It will re-download everything that it needs to run, right? And you can start all over again. And that's pretty much what I did. So I have a couple of backups, also very nice timing. And since then I've just been gold farming, right? Because I still need to get back to the values. I tried to edit in the gold that I had. I couldn't do it, but that's because the file is meant not to be opened. Like, I tried to read up on it, how to open the file. It's a specific ending that I've never seen. And it's from a game creator thingy. But yeah, I couldn't, so I decided, okay, let's just start everything from scratch instead of, you know, whatever, and I'll have to do the gold farming, which is a bit problematic, because I wanted to do the attempt today with the less weapons, the less items, sorry. But obviously that won't work out, because you need around, I think, 97k gold, and you can't just farm that in 1 or 2 hours, right, because that's since I stopped working. Now, one thing you'll see, and you'll be surprised by, is there are quite a lot of good items on the ground. The one that freezes the enemy, and the one that collects all the experience on the map for you. I can't collect these, because the one that collects the experience will unlock the attractor, the one that, you know, gives you further range to collect items. It's an item. And the freezer will unlock you the freezer clock, frozen clock, something like this. The thing that ticks around and freezes all the enemies in the line. Which means I can't pick up these two, and if I ever pick up these two, I have to Alt F4 out of the game, and I lose whatever gold I had from that run, because it doesn't save it. Obviously, that's the point, you know, we want to prevent getting an achievement to not have the weapons unlocked, but yeah, that's pretty much everything to it. So up until then, we are just farming. I sadly can't speed up time, you know, it doesn't really matter what we build as long as we get to the very end, and yeah. So, this is the preparation for the gold record run, that we can do that. We will just repeat what we did in the previous runs, but the main difference will be that we will have way less bad items and weapons given, which will just speed up the process of me resetting the game, right? Like in the past I was resetting for, like I think in the last record run, I was resetting for more than 30 minutes until I got a run where I actually got the economy upgrades that I wanted to have, and we can avoid something like this more frequently. Now that doesn't mean it will never happen, but it will be way less likely that we get wrecked on these picks. And it will also make it way better for, like, you know, later in the game, that you don't get, like, constantly get stuff that you don't want to have. Something like just going for 6 weapons, because that means we can't get any other weapons offered, will have way less impact, which is good, because, you know, it's a bit annoying if you're playing on a character that is not really overpowered, or actually, like, really weak, and, you know, then you just go for 6 weapons that you get other stuff offered, that you don't get the optional, like, the other weapons offered, right? I think if you have only 1 weapon left that you want to pick, I think there are still 3 weapons left, so these other 3 weapons that you don't want to have can still appear, right? And take up a slot of something that might have been a clover, might have been a mask, or just something else. And I think they'll even make it so extreme that there will not, like, there will, I think it will be impossible that we get a roll with just 3 items or weapons combined, where we get something that we never want to have, right? Like, you remember how many games I restarted just because the first weapon pick that I got were 3 weapons that I didn't want to use at all in the run? And I think this here limits us enough that this will never happen because the frozen clock is out. So there will always be at least 1 weapon that I want to have. So this will also happen way less frequently. So overall, it doesn't abuse anything, it doesn't cheat the system or something like this, you know. It just makes the runs way more consistent by taking out certain risk factors that would just waste a lot of time. So yeah. Now usually if you get to a point like this where you start altering, well, I mean, altering is also, like, saying it like this is a bit weird, right? Because it's game given, right? Anyone could do this. It's not like you have to go through a specific process where you have to use a software that erases something or so. But what you're doing is something that anyone can do. So I think for that it's fine, because you always run this fine list of, yeah, but if you go that far, then you could just skip all the 2,000 runs you do in the future by having tool-assisted runs, right? Or by manipulating the game files and forcing you to get, I don't know, crown 10 times, or, okay, that doesn't work. Crown 5 times in the first 5 levels and stuff like this, right? That's a bit cheaty. Or that's fully cheating. But yeah, I think the difference is big enough that no one would say, oh yeah, that's a scenario. I gotta be really careful when I pick anything up that has... Ooh, I walked around too much. I think that actually kills me. Yeah, I walked around too much. It was a huge mistake. I shouldn't have walked around. Can't change that. Happens. Sadly. Oh, that's really sad. That was near the end there. We would have gotten a lot of bonuses. Regardless, it's good, because this will give us a lot of power-ups. You can see I'm piss poor. I have nothing anymore. It's actually, yeah. Seeing that made me laugh a bit. You know, just going back to the very beginnings where I started, where everyone started. But just to show you the achievements, I made a list with all of the achievements in Excel, and I decided on them being rather, they could be unavoidable. That's just something that will always happen, like reach level 5, reach level 10. Technically speaking, it's avoidable. You can make a run where you just walk around, you break the candles, and then you quit, right? You don't kill anyone, you just break candles for as long as you can, and then you just quit, so you never reach level 5. But it's unavoidable because you need to reach level 10. For the crown, level 20 for the Mad Forest, right, to unlock the inlaid library, so that's not possible. But like other things, for example, like, where is it? I wanted this for the upgraded garlic. Yeah, for example, like this one here, these two, right? Technically speaking, if you were really determined to make the perfect save file, you could stop every single run before you hit 10 minutes. And you would never get the P-cone. You would never get the pentagram. And then you make a backup of that, and when you do your serious runs where you want to have gold records, then it's fine if you go beyond the 10 minutes, 20 minutes, because it won't unlock it for this run yet. And after you're done, it's unlocked, you just get the backup again, so you don't have these two. So technically speaking, you could have these two not in your run. That would work. But it's super annoying. Because you have to farm, I think, 97k gold. And if you have to stop before 10 minutes, I think you get to face 3 bosses, and that's it. So, good luck getting to 97k gold. Is it possible? Yes. Is it reasonable? Not in my opinion, but you could do it. Then we have the Bracer. That's quite simple to avoid. Just don't upgrade the King Bible. That also means we won't be able to use the King Bible. Then we have... what else is there that could have been avoided? And I would want to avoid. This is definitely one avoided. This is definitely one avoided. That also just means, you know, not getting the King Bible means I have 2 less items to care about. That's actually really good. This one... ah, boy. This one is complicated. Technically speaking, again, you could avoid it, but, you know, either you avoid the 10 minutes or you avoid this one. Where is it? Where was it? Isn't it selected? Oh, there it is, right? Because you have to get gold somewhere. I mean, okay, you could maybe just kill one boss, you collect the stuff, you don't get to level 5, and then you instantly quit to not go to level 5 and never destroy more than 20 light sources. But the problem is you need to destroy them to get a little clover. This is mandatory in my eyes, so you will always get this. Unless, okay, you could reset, you could reset a billion of times to hope you get the clover. That's possible. Floor chickens, I want garlic. Like, in the past runs we did, garlic was the only reason why we actually got as far as we did. So that is, I wanted that. That was a choice. Technically speaking, maybe it would have been better to not make this file with garlic and just minimize all the weapons. Because I was just thinking about what is the perfect gold run, right? But if I would have minimized everything as much as I could and just made a clean file, then I could have used this for leveling, for the fastest, like longest time in the game, right? Where you have to deal with the death and stuff like this. Vacuum, that's, don't find the, well, don't pick them up. This one, don't pick it up. The Rosary I picked up because I decided I will use the cross. It's a very good weapon. The upgrade is especially good to keep enemies away around you. Again, one that you might not want to pick if you want to make the perfect file. Stone Mask would be another one, right? You wouldn't want to pick this up because on the highest level, on fighting the boss, the final boss that is supposed to kill you, you don't need a Stone Mask. This one, I don't think it would have been possible to do this. Again, you can do it in certain ways, but it's very, very difficult. This one is mandatory. Evolve the Whip. Okay, those are just like, you know, gold bonuses, so we don't care about that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Just wanted to have that out there, because if anyone in the future is ever curious about that and wants to know, well, now you know. And yeah, as I said, there might be attempts where I have to reset because I accidentally pick up something, and usually I'm rather good at avoiding them because I'm actually not greedy in this case. I know in all the other cases I am, but not in this case. If I see something laying somewhere and I didn't see it getting destroyed, I usually don't pick it up. Reason is I don't know what's underneath it, and sometimes they can lay on top of each other in a way that you really don't see that something is below it that you don't want to have. There's only one scenario that totally messes me over, and that has happened to me, but I just got gold there, so it was fine. The moment you go to pick up something that is under a candle, like after it got destroyed, there is a chance at any second that this candle respawns. And if it respawns the moment you stand around it, close enough to soak up the item, and a weapon attack happens, or you just have the garlic that destroys everything, then you can pick up something that you don't want to have. And that would be an instant Alt F4. Instant leave because, yeah, for the reasons I explained. But yeah, this is pretty much the preparation to make the perfect run. As I said, there are ways to make it even more perfect by far. I think you could lose 3 weapons in total, right? With the Fire Wand, with the Picone and the Pentagram. And I think there is also an item that you could lose if you did everything perfectly. I'm not too sure, but again, it's like, how much do you want to struggle if you go through something like this? And you could already say, yeah, but you're going, like, way further than a normal player does, right? Because who the hell reset their game just to make this happen. Not saying there's not a single person that did it or will do it. I'm just saying, if you took 100 people that played this game, you will probably find 1 or 0 people out of these 100 that did it. Just the average. But yeah, still, I think it's not as much effort, right? And there's not like anything to do in the game right now where you would say, oh my god, I really have to do this. So we have the time. It's the best time right now to do it. I honestly thought about not posting this online. Just, you know, to be the first one that can do it. And also the first one that gets a run with it, right? Because I might still need 20, 30, 40, 50 runs to get a good enough run where I also survive. Because you still have to rely on luck. Because you still need to get the crown early. You need to get the clovers early, but if possible, not before the crown and stuff like this. So it's still complicated, and anyone could outspeed you. Like, even if, and I'm just saying, if that was the case, if it was your idea and someone saw that, you know, they could still outspeed you. And that's the only insensitive I would have had to say, okay, let's not upload it. But instead I was like, hey, you know what? If there's actually someone who sees that and becomes a challenger because of that, hell yes. One of the worst things that can happen if you have a competitive idea in general, like just generally talking, not about this particular one, is you end up being the only one or one of the few that actually do it. Like, if no one else cares about it, is interested or something like this, right? Because then you're just throwing back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And it's quite boring because rarely do you ever get fresh ideas into that. It's not saying that the people that, if you would only have 2 speedrunners or something like this, that they are uncreative and they would, like, always do the same stuff. But usually, in the past, except for rare exceptions, I know that, if a very new, fresh, amazing strategy came up, it was usually from a very, very new player, right? That just came in there recently and discovered something new and amazing. And, yeah, improved the entire speedrunning scene around that game. Because the old players, not because they are bad, not because they are uncreative, as I said, but you're so stuck and driven by the strategies that you know, that you don't even want to waste the time on other strategies or think they are already so bad because other circumstances at one point, right, but why would it have changed? So you don't even look at them. Similar with Garlic, right? I think I would have never looked at Garlic if I wouldn't have this, in quotation marks, philosophy that I always go back to checking out other things that I did in the past to see how it works right now. And changing all kinds of conditions to really see, is there absolutely no way this would ever change. And I think that's a very big part if you want to optimize a game, if you want to find the best strategies in a game and stuff like this, you always have to stay open to give something a try again. And hey, maybe Garlic is still not the answer. Or maybe Garlic is the answer, but something else is needed. Who knows? We'll see. But yeah, for now it's just gold farming, gold farming, gold farming. And what do we want to go for? Now let's go for the attack cooldown reduction. I just realized we only have 2 weapons right now, and the weapons are not very good. And we just saw I don't have a lot of upgrades in the game, so I should respect the game a bit more. Last round I actually died. I didn't expect that. I thought I was stronger than the round before that. And yet I died. What actually changed? Oh, I didn't have the Hellfire wand anymore. And what was the other thing that changed? I didn't have the whip anymore. The whip was probably actually the reason that I survived, as stupid as that sounds. Because even in that run prior with the whip, I took a lot of damage from the enemies. But I just out-healed them enough and the Scythe was pushing back that the whip healed like 24 health or something like this in that time. And that was enough to stay alive. Like, if the game would have continued even just to 30-15 maybe, or 30-30, I would have definitely died. There was no way around it. So yeah. Ooh, that's a bad spot. That's a really bad spot. Let's go for area. Also, where's my Garlic, mate? Ooh, Okay, that was super dangerous. The way I walked around this, if that was anything else but a coin... Okay, not anything else. If that was the orb sucking in the experience, if that was the other one that I want to avoid, the freezer, that would have been all the four here. And it's sometimes a bit hard to estimate how close can you get to something. A good rule of thumb is, if the garlic can hit it, you should not be there. Unless you have maxed out area and maxed out garlic, that's a different story. That one can actually destroy it without a problem. This here is a risk. Did you see that? We just got a coin there. That was from destroying the thing, I think. Like, I'm pretty sure the coin was not hiding there. We just picked it up in the same moment it respawned. Super dangerous. Insanely dangerous. But I still want to collect the gold and everything, you know. I want to break the candles because we need a lot of gold. Oh wait, what am I doing? I totally fell asleep. When these guys spawn, we always walk to the left to get the empty tome. Ah, stay away. Okay, there we go. Oh boy. It's been a while since I... No, what am I saying? I was about to say it's been a while since I struggled against these enemies, but no, that's not true. That was literally the entire time of playing X-Dash. Oh boy, careful. I just looked away. There was a mistake. But then again, we improved so much on a daily basis. Like, if you go back to YouTube and you just check out the videos when I uploaded the very first Vampire Survivors video. And at that time I was still thinking I would play this every couple days, maybe once, you know, just for a quick round and have something else like a filler. If I don't want to play something else, or maybe if I, you know, play a game like League of Legends and I have a long queue time, then I could just pop this up and play for a second, pause it and later get back to it, right? Something like this. That's why I actually got it in the first place. And then out of nowhere, I just started playing like crazy. Like in the beginning, even when I had fun, I was like, yeah, that's amazing. Now I have a filler that is a lot of fun, that is actually perfect, you know, I'll use in the future again. And then I wanted to play Monster Hunter Rise. I wanted to continue it. And on that day, I was so tired. Like, I didn't feel like playing any more complicated game. And I just wanted to have a relaxing time and just something chill, you know? That was also dangerous there. Good job me for not paying attention. I have a feeling this is a bad idea doing this live while talking, you know? Either way. Yeah, I didn't feel like it, so I just decided, hey, let's play some Vampire Survivors. Next day, same story. Next day, same story. And suddenly, the content has completely taken over. And not only that, the game also has catapulted the YouTube channel to subscriber amounts it has never seen. Once that slows down, like once that stops the entire Vampire Survivors hype, I will go back to playing more games and doing other things. But as long as it's going on, I want to use it as much as I can. Because, you know, it helps grow the channel, of course. But that was an interesting run. That was horrible. What just happened there? Dex was talking the entire time. That happened. But yeah, so it's pretty much like one of the best things that can happen to you. Why do I have to activate this every single time? It's pretty much the best things that can happen to you because... like, if you get into a hype of something, it's not like you just check what is hyped up and then you make a video about it and all of a sudden you get thousands and 100,000s or so of views. Because there are usually a lot of videos, and I don't even know how exactly it happens that a video that would usually get 5 views, 3 views or something like this, or even less, right? Because the first few videos I did about Vampire Survivors got like 1 or 2 views. Like, for me it was clear, Kenshi will be the main watched one on my channel. Monster Hunter Rise started doing really well, especially with the interactions, as in likes and stuff like this, which is always nice to have, you know. It's one thing if you get one that has a lot of views, but it's another thing if you know the people that watch it care enough to even give a like, right? Because they are more engaged with it, which is always a good signal. I think, in my eyes, in my opinion. And yeah, then there was Vampire Survivors, totally dead. Like, not a single person. I think it got 1 view, and that was it. Don't forget, sometimes when you see it has like 1 or 2 views, that was just me, because I had to do something on the video or so. And sometimes with certain things that you do, like writing a comment under the video, it will automatically add a few, right? Because you open it. But yeah, it was a dire situation. And then the update happened. And I made a video about that. And obviously a lot of people were looking for the update online. And that went crazy, that video. Also, one of my most disliked videos. I mean, it's still like 66% liked and 33% disliked or something around that ballpark. But out of all the videos that I have, nothing is even close to that dislike amount. I mean, usually my videos don't get dislikes, right? Because it's to a very small audience. It's not a controversial topic or something like this. Sure, if you don't like the way I play a game, and for example, that I also take pauses with talking, and just focus on the gameplay, or don't feel like it's right now the perfect time to talk, sure, totally fine. But I think in that particular video, the main problem was that in the title I had the, that it was an update and that you can evolve the garlic and that you can get the Vandalier, and I did get both upgrades. But, well, the stream lasted 2 minutes and no one knew at what point did I get them, right? If they want to check it out. And no one wants to Google for something and check that out and then see a 2-hour video, right? And figure out where the hell is, at that point, can I see what I came for. Now, it's not that I said it's a guide and I'll show it to you. That's by far not what I said. But, now I would consider this and say, hold on a second. I'll do this differently. But at the time, again, like the most watched Vampire Survivors video had 2 views. I really didn't expect that to get any attention. So I didn't think a lot about it, and then I think the next day I woke up and suddenly saw this video has 3k views or so. Where I was like, is that really my video? The guy that is happy about getting 10 views on a video? So yeah. Once the entire hype is done, once people moved on from Vampire Survivors, or just don't, look at my videos anymore, and just go back to they will stay with the main channels they are at, but I'm just a search result, right? Once that's done, I'll go back to making completely normal content, but as long as it continues, hey, if out of the, like right now, I think the channel has 60 subs. Before Vampire Survivors, it had 15. And, which is an insane increase, right? It's 4 times as many people. But I think some people that subscribe just want to see Vampire Survivor specific stuff, obviously. A majority of them. So my guess would be that once the hype dies down, once they realize, no, not every video will be about Vampire Survivors, and maybe at one day I will just stop playing it because there's no new content, so why would I keep playing it? And I have like all the challenges done that I want to do, and then they just leave. Or maybe they just subscribe for this one video. I've seen that in the past very often, where one video pops off like crazy, people subscribe for it, and then they, get to see more of that person and they realize, nah, it's nothing for me. Yeah. But I'm just curious to see how long it will last. I was already hella surprised, like I thought it was over, and then I uploaded a video about the gold record that I achieved, and that got over 1,000 views, which again, for me, insane, crazy numbers. Just appearing in the search results, I assume, or recommended videos or something like this. That's also something, right, that, like, I didn't assume, oh my god, that was close. I didn't assume that to happen. I thought it would still do well because the big video that has like now I think 6k views is still pulling in people. And after they are done, they get recommendations, and one of the recommendations is like the newest video that I released, right? So it's normal that whatever video is right now the newest will always get a boost in views if it's also Vampire Survivors related. Like for example, I did a stream about Monster Hunter. Oh my god, we finally got it. Ah. I can't believe it. But yeah, I did a stream about Monster Hunter Rise, and I uploaded it, and I was curious to see, do just all videos that are like the newest video get these insane amount of views, or is it just Vampire Survivors content? And spoilers, that video got 9 views. That video got 9 views. Like, the one prior to that one that was up for like 2 hours, which is not a long time, got like 80 views or so. So for me, this is just like, okay, cater to the audience right now, how it's going, and then in the future, it goes back to normal. But yeah, I had this in the past once where a trend was going on. That was a German video though, but I made a video about a mod, and it was an amazing mod, to be honest. It was called, I think, Nexus mod in Minecraft, and the way it works was, you would have this Nexus core or something like this, and waves of enemies would spawn, right? Like 1 wave, 2 wave, 3 wave, 4 wave, 5 wave, stuff like this, right? It would continue, you have to kill them, and you have to protect the Nexus from getting destroyed. And I think every single round where you won, you got like coins or something like this that you could use to trade for something from the Nexus or so, like upgrades or weapons or something like this. Again, it's very long ago. It's like 10 years ago, okay? And at that time, I think my channel had like 1k subscribers. And that video popped off like crazy. I think nowadays, I just searched it recently to see how long ago it actually was. On that video, I got 350k views. 350,000. That is an insane amount for me. Like, I would even say, a normal person would say, yeah, that's a lot. Sure, no PewDiePie video that gets uploaded and just has 2 million views, no matter what it's about, even him farting in a bottle. But, you know, I would say everyone would agree that that is a decent amount of, like, in the higher levels views, right? Or, let's say a high mid-range. What did I do? Nothing. Nothing. I just kept doing whatever I was doing, you know? I was super happy, I was hyped. My subscribers went up from 1k, or I think at that time I even was only at 700, to 8k. I think even nowadays it still sits at 8k. And yeah, but people came there and wanted to watch the Nexus mod. They didn't want to see me play a Let's Play, they didn't want to see anything else. And the one thing I learned is just because someone subscribes doesn't mean they want to see more of you. The first time someone subscribes, it's usually the content that got them there, the game, whatever it is, and rarely it's the persona. Of course, you can just, you know, you go on a video and you say, oh my god, this is the perfect guy ever. I want to subscribe to him and watch him whatever he does, even if he farts in a bottle. That's a whole other thing, right? But this is so rare that you can't assume that this is what's going on. And I failed to see that, you know? I thought people just enjoyed the content that I did there, and yeah, sure, if I do more, then they would gladly watch that, but they would also watch me. No. Videos got like maybe 100 to 200 views, barely anything changed, even with all the new subscribers, and then came a very depressive time afterwards, where I noticed that instead of my subscriber count going up, it started going down, right? Because these new 7.3k, they started unsubscribing over time because they realized, nah, that's not the right thing for me. Sorry, gotta go again. And even though new subscribers were coming in, like legitimate subscribers that were watching the Let's Plays and would actually watch me and follow me, they didn't have any impact anymore. Because if you get 3 legitimate subscribers but lose 20 fake subscribers, it still looks like you lost 17 subscribers, right? You don't know, is that subscriber one that watches one video? Or is it subscriber one that will watch the entire playlist and then watch any other playlist they can find because they started enjoying you a lot and the way you commentate or stuff like this? You never know that. Oh, that was a close call. Okay, what's going on with the stone mask, by the way? I haven't seen one so far, or I totally missed it. Yeah, not very lucky. We are soon at 10 minutes, so let's focus a bit on the game. Right, I did a bit of storytelling because, hey, there's not a lot of exciting stuff that I can talk about while we do something that we did 100 times prior. And this time we don't have a real goal, right? If we die, sure, we die, next run. There's no real goal here. We just want to farm some gold to get all of the upgrades back and go back to our gold runs, but with less items, with less weapons and stuff like this. Ooh, nice. Oh, there's the stone mask finally. Okay, let's upgrade that a bit. So I do the same stuff that I also do in my gold record run, where I only go for 7 items instead of 8. Because the point is still we want to have as much gold as possible. 1 additional item slot would be good to get something else, but honestly, I don't care enough. Like, if we die at 29 minutes, sure, let's die at 29 minutes. So just go to the next run. What do I want to go for here? I think I'll go for the fire wand this time. No. Actually, no, I should have went for the fire wand and guarantee that we have it. Garlic. Ooh, the garlic is big now. That's very good for pushing back enemies. Okay, stone mask. Could have upgraded. No, we couldn't have upgraded. That nearly killed me. That was so close. But yeah, that's pretty much the story of that. It wasn't even the only one the only video that popped off. I think I have a second one that got to like 400k views, but that one got. It started by the other one going crazy, and then the other one went off like crazy. It was just such a stupid video and title. Like the title was something like in German, in the lines of 2 traps for idiots. And they were the most stupid traps you could imagine. One trap was just a pressure plate, and surrounding the pressure plates were 4 doors. And in Minecraft, if you walk on that pressure plate, the doors close, and that's a trap. Because you can't open the doors anymore if they are iron doors, right? Unless you jump up and you make something. But I think it always pushes you back in, because you can't get through. But yeah, that was pretty much that, and it exploded. Like, I think at that time it had 400k views. I have to check it now and just see, like, out of curiosity sometimes, just for fun, I check back the old stuff on other channels that are totally abandoned and I don't even know how to access anymore. But yeah, that was also one where I was like, what? The reactions were funny. Again, it was like 2010, okay, or 2011 or 2012. I think 2012. So it was quite early. But you can imagine, like, back then, where people didn't even have millions of subscribers yet. Like, if you go back to 2012 and check out some of the most subscribed channels, they did have a lot of subscribers, but not like 10 million, 50 million or something like this. Oh, perfect. So, getting something with 400k views was really not a small deal. Oh no, I think what actually happened, if I'm not mistaken... No, right? Yeah, okay, no. I wasn't talking bullshit entirely. So I said the video in the end had 350k or something views like this, right? But the 8k subscribers came way earlier than that, and the story that I told with me realizing they are not interested in other content, but also me failing to realize that I literally... Shit. I didn't just do that. I gotta check if it saved the achievement. Okay, it didn't. Good. Yeah, but, no, I think what actually happened was I got... Oh, what was going on? I got a huge increase in subscribers earlier, but it was like to 3 or 5k. Either way, it was way more. Again, sorry, it is 10 years ago. It's hard to remember that stuff and tell the story correctly. Regardless. So, yeah, I got the huge increase in subscribers. I noticed it's not like people are not interested in other video, any other video that I do but the Nexus mod. And I think at that time, what actually happened was I got all of this stuff, you know, where I was like, oh my god, this didn't help in any way, that is just utter bullshit. And now I have like 8k or 5k at that time subscribers. And it looks like, it just looks like an abandoned channel, right? Because you have so many subscribers and you get 100 views on your video. Like, what's going on? And previously it was 100 views on 300 subscribers, which is amazing. A ratio of 1 to 3 is amazing on YouTube. Just look at, like, even PewDiePie, right? With 100 million subscribers, look at how many views his videos get. And while 2 million views on a video, I don't know what the actual numbers are, I just made something up. But it's around that ballpark, right? Even let it be even 10 million. That's still a 1 to 10 ratio. And that's totally normal, because not everyone wants to watch every single video, and people lose interest over time, and then they come back later again. Or, what also happens often, accounts are just abandoned. They are no longer used. They are still subscribed, but no longer used. And over the years, this accumulates to a lot. But either way, yeah. I think what happened was I lost my monetization. Because back then, you could just tell YouTube, hey, I want to be monetized. And you had to give them your phone number, and that was it. That was it. You had AdSense, you know. Well, back then, it wasn't called AdSense. I think it was just called monetization, and you had, like, no access to anything. But yeah, that was all that you needed to do. But once I lost that, which happened quite a lot of times back then on different channels, I realized I can never ever earn money again on YouTube, right? Like, my goal was I actually wanted to live off of YouTube because I was so fascinated by this. And just, like, thinking that I can earn my living by playing video games, that's a dream. I mean, quite early on I realized this is actually not how YouTube works. It's not just, yeah, you have fun and you do the stuff and whatever. Because I would say it's not that the viewers dictate one-to-one what you will do if you want to be a successful YouTuber. But let's say it's not that it's up to your choice. That might sound really weird, but you pretty much have to go according to whatever works the best right now. And at least keep that in, right? So, for example, if you have your regular schedule, you can still do the other stuff if you really badly want to do that. But you have to keep, like, you need to keep providing the other content until the viewer becomes a regular viewer. And at that point, you can start switching out and uploading less and less and less and less and less of the stuff that got them in. And then you can, all you can do is just hope that they will stay for the other stuff. Variety streamers have it quite easy there, right? If they just have an audience that watches anything, that is the best part, but it's also, at the same time, the hardest part to build up a community. Because people constantly leave again if they notice you don't play the game anymore. But overall, it's very interesting. So yeah, I wanted to have this as a main work, main hobby, and without the monetization, that didn't work anymore. So that was bye-bye. Ooh, the axe. Man, that was an entirely wasted run. That's the thing, I actually don't want to really pick up the stuff, and sometimes you get cheeky stuff like this. I mean, here it's more visible, right? But imagine it was a bit more to the right, a bit more down, you wouldn't even see the blinking. And you would just go here, pick up the gold, and you're like, yay, 10 gold, and I say, oh, yep, all the 4, I have to exit out. That was it. Like here, but I just saw that it just got destroyed, so there are not 2 items. With high luck, it becomes more difficult to do this. Because... Wait a second, did we unlock the clover? I'm pretty sure we did. Yeah. Pretty sure we did, hopefully. No, don't tell me it's not unlocked because I auto-forward out. Oh my... Aww. I mean, we have 40% luck right now. Doesn't this mean we got one? Do I quit to check it? That was so not worth it. Well, I mean, let's check it. Oh yeah, we did get it. Okay. It counted. That's very good. Uh-oh. Oh, wait a second. Okay, it's not unlocked. The clover is also not unlocked. Oh man. Okay. Well. You know, happens. That's so sad. But why do we have 40% luck? Okay, hold on again. I'm sorry. But why do we have 40% luck? Don't you give 30%? Yes. Chance to get lucky goes up. The level gives plus 10%. Oh my god, Dex. Can't you read? There. 10% luck bonus. Ooh, that's a bad start. But yeah, I'm really curious to see how the runs will be once it's done. Once we have all the gold to do all the upgrades. Once that's finished. Whether the runs will be way more consistent. Or barely anything changes. Or... Well, that's kind of it, isn't it? Could you just save the hyper here, please? Sure. Actually, I think cross would have been better here. I like the cross because it, even without the clover, it allows you to push back a lot of enemies. I should be careful. I'm walking around as if I still had fully upgraded everything. And take damage. Because in the past, this would have dealt like 10 damage on our 100 health. No, we have 130 health then. Yeah, like 10 damage, that's nothing, right? But now it did a ton of damage. Without the armor that you get by power-ups. Crown, amazing. Very good start. Another garlic level, that's really good. Gives us additional range. Gold, nice. Can we somehow hit this magically? No. You have to die, sorry. I don't want to stay too close, you know. Okay, there we go. Okay, wow, another crown. Hello there. Sadly, I do not have the experience upgrades yet, because otherwise we might have actually attempted to get as high of a level as possible. No, that won't work actually, now that I think about it. Because we can't get the experience orb suckers that just give us all the experience orbs. Yeah. That's kind of mandatory when you do a run where you want to get the highest level possible. Like, you have to get that going at the very end of the run to collect everything that is still on the ground and you couldn't collect because the enemies are too strong. No, whatever. Okay, we are only at 2 minutes right now. Let's focus on the garlic for a bit. I'll also get the candelabrador as I can. Nice. It's a bit weird that the game added the garlic and the... What's its name? The freezer. To the collection, but they... You know, they didn't unlock the achievements. Because we never finished the level. It feels weird, as if, like, the next time I restart it, it will just have the achievement and everything was for nothing. I would be so sad if that would happen. But pretty much what I'm looking for is... When we press escape and we look at luck on the bottom left, or I guess the middle left of the screen, but the bottom left of the stats, we want to see 50% there. That means we picked up a clover. And when that happens, I will instantly leave the game. Instantly. To make sure it's unlocked. Not that something happens like before, where I accidentally collect something I shouldn't collect, or... no, actually it would be way easier to just say, Dex, don't walk around and collect stuff, how about that? Yeah, that would actually be way better. The main problem is, knowing myself, I'm not sure if I can do that, if I'm capable of doing that. Especially when I see one that has like the 300 gold drop, you know? And I have to do a gamble whether there's something else underneath or not. I don't know if I could do that and resist. Well, yeah, I can, because I know what's the punishment if it's not one. In the end, it's also just 300 gold, right? That's like a chest opening. On max level. Okay, another stone mask. Yeah, that means also I can open the chest right away, because we don't get the clovers. Like, right? So let's just open the chest that we get from the bosses now. I will wait for the stone mask to be level 5, but aside from that... We can just play this normally. Do I upgrade you now? Yeah, I'll get you now. I so want to collect the experience orb collector down there. And it's just blinking into my face constantly. This is so sad. I mean, it's not that useful yet, but once we walk to the left and if we walk back, then it would be really good, right? Because all the experience is on the way. But I think one thing I notice is when you walk far enough, or if enough monsters die, or if the experience was on the ground for long enough, it will actually just accumulate around you. That might be a wrong... Like, it might just be wrong, but I was barely killing any enemies, and I was just walking to the right for quite a while because I got so unlucky not finding the stone mask. And all of a sudden, I got this one red experience orb, and it gave me like 3 levels. And I can guarantee you, I didn't kill anywhere close to 3 levels around me. This must have been from while I was walking there. That it just dropped on the ground, and then at one point there was just too much stuff on the ground, or it laid there for too long, and it accumulated into 1 red orb. Which we know is how it works if it's like in the same area, right? Like if here in the same area enemies drop a lot of stuff, eventually it will accumulate together into 1 big pile. But I didn't know how it behaves for singular experience orbs that are somewhere on the way and lost. Do they just stay there? Will they eventually accumulate? Will they just disappear? But yeah, it looks like they just get absorbed into 1 big blob eventually. Around you, like close to you, not far away. Ooh, careful. I can't walk too close to the candles because... Oh, that's actually a good one. Goodbye. And that's a horrible one. Bad boy. Bad boy up there. The reason why I want to collect these candles and why I keep doing it is because we need the clover. So, yeah. Wanna gamble? Okay, 2 now. Useless. The good thing is we know this instantly if we collect the freezer or the experience orb guy, right? That one here. Because it will suck in all the experience. Or it will freeze all the enemies. Like, it's hard to not notice that. But in the beginning, you might imagine, like, I didn't know that you can just alter 4 and it doesn't count the achievement. I was so scared that it would happen, and then it happened. And I just paused the game, and I copied the current folder in hopes it didn't save yet, and then I just pressed alter 4. And then I got back in and noticed, yeah, alter 4 does the trick. It's fine enough. As long as you don't finish the game, it doesn't count the achievement. Oh boy, that was actually a risk here. Okay, so now we walk to the left and get the empty tome. But we wait around there until we get 6 items, but then we get the empty tome. What weapon am I missing right now? Oh, Saint Water. Santa Water. That I always call Saint Water. Where's there a better one? I don't think so. Not for the current stage that we have, like for the current upgrades. Yeah. Oh, can you open this somehow, please? Access. Thank you. Like last time we died, if we had Center Water there... I actually don't know if we had it, but something was missing. I think the cross was missing, which is also pushing back the enemies like crazy. But if we had the right weapons there, I think we would have ended the game again. And that gives a huge, huge, huge boost to the gold. It was like 1.2k or so. With the current gold upgrades that I have. Which is a lot. If you look at our current gold, that's roughly 3 times the amount. Not as much in the end game. In the end game, you... Like, on these levels right now, I finish around 7 to 8k gold usually. Which is not nothing compared to records, obviously. But hey, we don't have the upgrades yet, so we can't afford to kill more enemies. We can't afford to go full economy upgrades for too long, because otherwise I just die. And that also means you kill the enemies way slower, which means you get less experience, which translates to getting less gold. It also means you have to stop moving. Okay, that sounds really weird. What I mean is you have to stop moving way earlier, because you don't have enough damage to walk through the enemies. Like, you have enough pushback to push back the enemies, but you can't kill them. Which means you rely on them being pushed back and you stay there. The moment you move into the enemies that you pushed away, and that might kill you. Which I think also happened at the end of the last run, where I said, oh my god, I shouldn't have moved, why did I move, and then I died. Yay. A gold coin. Thanks for nothing. Okay, what am I missing? The candelabrador is what I'm missing. Oh my god, hey, stop doing that. Yo, that's not cool. Stop hitting me. Can I just pick this up right now? Yes, I could. Sure. We have max gold. We don't get any luck. So I can just pick it up. Sure. Magic wand. The fire wand is right now too unreliable. We have to keep away enemies that get too close to us that don't die through the garlic. Fire wand and hellfire is amazing. Well, okay, amazing is wrong. I did a rating on it. I put hellfire in A, I think. And I put the fire wand in C tier. So I would change a lot if I had to redo the rating. Then again, I wouldn't change too much. I said this previously. Like, just because my opinion changed about certain weapons, especially like the garlic, which I now view as our savior, it doesn't have anything to do with normal runs, right? Like, if 1% of the people would do, let's say, gold record runs, and 99% don't do gold record runs, and you want to make a general tier list, then you don't make your tier list based on the gold record runs. You make your tier list based on the general player that goes for typical heroes and not unique heroes. So, I guess for, you know, a typical hero... What is that? Is that a freezer? I think that's a freezer. Is that the freezer, though? I mean, what else is it supposed to be? Ooh, that's a bit hard to say. I think it is. Yeah, I think that's a clock that you collect that freezes everything. The stopwatch. But yeah, either way. Just because I think the garlic is our savior and he will... it will be the way to go to actually win and get the gold record at the same time. Because we got so close, we were 24 seconds away. Doesn't mean that I think garlic is now an S tier or A tier or B tier. Wait, actually, in fact, let me check where I put it. Just to know it. Which, again, only my opinion and my playstyle, so don't take this wrong. Don't think I consider this a universal truth for everyone. So, let's talk a bit about the tiers, right? And I will also say if I adjust something in my mind. Note, left to right has no influence, it doesn't matter at all. It got sorted randomly after I reloaded the page, and I was too lazy to redo that. So I think, in my opinion, no one will argue that the duplicator, the empty tome, and the scythe belong into S tier. Maybe you would argue that the scythe doesn't belong into S tier, but I think its infinite penetration and its knockback make it one of the best weapons in the game. And the insane amount that it gets once you have duplicator and additional projectiles, right? It's like one of the best weapon, and usually it's always my top DPS weapon. Rarely it gets beaten by something else, and if, then it's still one of the highest DPS weapons, just slightly beaten. So overall, I would say this is always there. The Holy Wand is a bit more complicated. The Holy Wand has one insane benefit. It's really good the entire game long, so early game, mid game, end game, but it has insane knockback and stops the vampire or whatever it is at 25 minutes, right, from moving and attacking you. So the main benefit here is also the knockback, but it deals with stragglers and it deals with heroes or with enemy bosses insanely well. No other weapons deals with bosses so well to keep them away from you. Then in A tier, this one is, that was pre-book nerf and book is nerfed, so... But I think I would still put it in A. You always have to consider what they use, you know, in combination as an item to get upgraded, which in my opinion makes book actually a bit worse. But it's not like the item is horrible, it's just not A tier, in my opinion. Spinach, definitely A tier. It's super simple. I think it will always be A tier. Center water, you can have a split opinion, but in my opinion, it's probably the strongest weapon in the game, given how little it costs, that it consumes no item, and it has insane synergy with a lot of the items in the game. Like, if you have all the items that do well for the center water, it's insane what damage this one puts out, especially with Scythe pushing the enemies back into it. If you have the Vesper that also pushes monsters into it, it's insane. Lightning Ring, yeah, I gotta move that one down into B or C. I think rather B. I still think it's good, but it's not as good as I hoped for, compared to other high-tier weapons. But I have to try this again on a normal character, not on X-Dash. Experience Clover definitely belong here. These are the best economy upgrades that you can get. They will always be there for me. But of course, if you just need to beat a level, then you don't need these. Though experience is still nice to get fast upgrades. Candelabrador in B tier with the Stone Mask and the Rune Tracer. Honestly, I don't think anyone would argue with any of this. All of these have insanely good potential, but they also have major drawbacks. So let's start Candelabrador. What's the drawback? Honestly, not that much. It's just nothing too special. It doesn't change that much unless you want it on a very specific weapon. But if it's only good with a very specific weapon, then it's not S tier, right? Like Empty Tome affects everything. Spinach affects everything. Clover and XP affects everything. But Candelabrador only affects so many weapons in a good way that I wouldn't put it higher than B. But I would say it's a top B tier. Stone Mask, simple, buffs gold. Hey, amazing, you need gold. Otherwise, remove it down to D tier if you don't need gold anymore. It's that simple. Rune Tracer, I think Rune Tracer is not bad, but I think it deserves a B tier just for its randomness. That's a limitation, right, I was talking about. You'll find limitations here that these weapons have. The knives limitation can only go into one direction. You know, it's great into one direction, but that's it. You have to move around to kill the enemies on your left and right, and then the enemies close in. And you can't even run in the direction you're shooting, because the enemies on your left side and your right side will start hitting you. Then Laurel, I don't think it's bad. I think it's really good defensive-wise and for very specific situations. But again, very specific situation doesn't mean you can put it into a high rank just because it works well in one or two scenarios. And in most cases, when I saw that someone used Laurel, and they said, yeah, I won because of the Laurel, well, if you actually had a good weapon in that slot instead of the Laurel, then you wouldn't have even gotten into the situation where you got hit, you know? So, it's really good, though, to beat the enemy guy, the last one that spawns, the very, very last one, 30 seconds to freeze him, don't take damage because of Laurel for quite some time, you know? And that's it. Whip is, for me, B tier. Again, situationally, really good. You can hide in a corner and just whip everything with knockback, but that's also it. As well as the Magic Wand, it's not bad. It's decent, but it's not great. The Heaven Sword, I wanted to move it up to A because I started using it a lot. And then I got reminded, hey, you're just using this on X-Dash. I think its use is weird. Honestly. Right? It's like, it's this, I'm a boss killer because I deal insane damage. But also I can hit multiple enemies. But I don't hit enough enemies to thin out the enemies. You know, it's more like a Hellfire. A Hellfire, but that's actually the next weapon, so it's a good comparison. A Hellfire shoots into one direction, it kills almost everything in its path, but that's it. It's just this tiny path where the monsters instantly move together again, and it's as if the Hellfire hasn't shot. If it's slow enough, you can easily walk in its path. That is super great for an escape. I did that in the gold record run, and it's amazing for that, but it's too unreliable. If something can kill you 10% of the time and saves you 90% of the time, it still means you die. Because those scenarios happen 20, 30 times in a single run. Okay, C tier, Spellbinder. I don't think there's a lot to say about that. Duration isn't that amazing compared to others, okay? I'm not saying it's bad, but compared to others, it's not as amazing. Garlic, just because on a normal hero you don't need Garlic, you could simply use something that kills enemies from a distance and get more experience, which means more gold. Holy Bible, it's honestly, I think Holy Bible is good. The problem is that it disappears. But I think I will move the Holy Bible maybe to B tier, honestly. If Rune Tracer is in B tier, then Holy Bible definitely deserves B tier. So I have to change that. My opinion is just that it takes too long to get strong compared to other weapons. Like, take for example the magic wand, right? You need a couple of upgrades and you kill everything that's on your way. Holy Bible, you need a couple of upgrades and you still have to walk into the enemies to kill them. So, I don't see a point in time where this shines, except for being upgraded to the Vesper. Dagger is just a worse version than this one. The Fire Wand, honestly not bad, but it has the same limitations as Hellfire Wand, but it's worse, so makes sense, right? The Clock Lancet thingy here, I only put it in because it's a fun, gimmicky stuff, and it's not completely useless, but also the use is beyond me, why I would ever pick this. Wings, I think movement speed is amazing. In every single game that I play, I love movement speed. Here it's kind of a letdown because you could just stand there, you know, and it's the most efficient way of playing. Except if you want to run around to collect candle gold. But then you don't get this. You don't do that. Pentagram, the only reason why I put it here is... I should move it to D, I know. The only reason why I put it here is because in the beginning, when I started playing, I was a huge fan of pushback builds. Everything I had was around pushing back, then into center water, and I had this dream of, instead of using center water, I use Pentagram, that every 30 seconds or however fast it attacks, goes off and kills everything on the screen, right? And in the other 29 seconds, the enemies just get pushed back constantly. And then it goes off again and kills everything. That was my dream. Until I realized you don't need that to beat the game, you know. But in theory, you could go on forever because it insta-kills anything it hits. So even if the game changes to an endless mode, where the enemies just gain 1% health, then this Pentagram, S tier. But that's the same topic of being situational, you know, so it actually deserves D tier. Because it's horrible. It's one of the worst weapons to pick up. It destroys your own stuff. It can destroy boss chests. Like, what the hell? It's like, wait, I actually have to make a new tier for Pentagram with E. Like, I don't even know what came over me to put this into C. Bone. Okay, let's just continue. Hollow Heart. Well, get some health, you know. You never get hit, but hey, in case you would, you have some health. That's great, right? Like, right? No, never mind. It's pretty much attempting to do what Laurel does, except Laurel is like 50 times better than that. Attractor Orb. Honestly, I was a big fan of this when I first theorized on how would I do the challenge with the highest level run, right? And having more range to pick up stuff helps you in the last 2 minutes where you simply can't move around because you have to stand still, everything has to hit at the perfect spot and kill all the enemies. And then you can collect all the experience around you. Until I realized you could just destroy a candle below you, let the stuff sit there, like don't collect the experience orb collector, like you do it until you get one, you wait there, and in the last 10 seconds, you walk down and you pick it up, and then you collect all the experience that accumulated around you. It doesn't have to travel far because it's all around you. And then you just get level after level after level after level, and the game doesn't progress in that time. So you have enough time to pick all of that up, and that made it totally useless. Healing, again, same topic. Like, if I don't get hit, then I don't need healing or more health. Armor, again, same topic. Brazier, maybe unjustified. But for me, it's just like, there's no scenario where I would say Brazier is needed or is an improvement over anything or kills enemies faster. It doesn't make you attack faster, it just increases projectile speed, which for something like the... what's its name? The Vesper is really good, but the only point of the Vesper is to push back enemies, not to kill them. So you don't care about more DPS, and it already does its job of pushing back the enemies. You don't need more. And the whip is a huge downgrade because it needs the health upgrade, which who the hell wants that? And the whip itself, I think, has less projectiles than the upper whip. Like, I think the upper whip can reach like 4, 5, 6 projectiles, and this one is always limited to 3, but I might be wrong on that. Ebony and Pico, on their own, they were horrible. Then Vandalier got added. And honestly, Vandalier, I would put that into a solid B tier. A tier, B tier, something like this. Just because I dislike that you have a Santa Water 2.0 that requires 16 levels more. It's like, yeah, it's a bit better than Santa Water, but like, it's... But if you just want to go for the highest level achieved, yeah, I would definitely do that then. That's a different story. If you want the highest gold, no, it's a huge waste. Cross, I have to move that Cross. The main reason why I dislike Cross so much is because, like, whenever I look at weapons here, I don't just want to rate the weapon itself, how strong it is, but also what potential it has, right? So if I use a weapon, it also has to have future use, either because it's still strong or because it upgrades into another weapon. And this cross only upgrades into the Holy Sword, the Heaven Sword, which is not bad, but, you know, I changed my mind though. I think cross deserves at least B tier. The clearing it does is absolutely insane. And in many scenarios, the cross is better than the Heaven Sword, because you have so many crosses that just kill all the enemies, while the Heaven Sword just overkills like crazy, but hits way less enemies. And with the cross, you shoot like, 7 projectiles or so? So it's amazing. It's honestly, it's just because I haven't tried it enough, and I just tried it once or twice, and I was like, I'll never use it again. What's the point of that? It's horrible. No, it's actually really good. It's not bad. So yeah, that was it. And then you have the Evolved Garlic. Honestly, I'm not even sure what to think about the Evolved Garlic. One big issue, main issue that it has is it uses an item up, right? Like one of the limited spots, you can see we have the red heart there just because of evolving the garlic. Spoiler, that's just because I don't have any better picks here. What is the last weapon I want? Hold on. Because if it's Center Water, I'll pick Center Water now. If it's something else, I have to wait. We have the wand, we have the axe, very good. Oh, we could pick the lightning ring or the Center Water. Okay, I'll go for the Center Water. There we go. Just to have it locked, you know, that nothing goes wrong anymore. Yeah, but either way, how long could I have picked up the Empty Tome? Since when do I have Candelabrador? I might have just gotten it. No, I think I had it for a while. Well, either way. What did I want to say? Garlic. Evolved Garlic, yes. So, the issue is, the healing of Garlic pretty much doesn't matter, right? Like, sure, in the very, 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 very beginning of the game, you will still take damage and you might, or you will not make it to 30 minutes, like in the very, very start where you don't have upgrades yet, right? Because you're simply too weak. And so you might think, okay, healing of Garlic is amazing, and knockback and damage to everything in the area, and then you realize the damage is not enough to kill enemies. It's not even enough that it really helps the weapons you're using, because they rely on pushback, and the only good thing about Garlic is that makes it so good is knockback. But in rarely any scenario do you need to upgrade the Garlic then, because this Garlic here, I think, has a stronger knockback than the upgraded version, but the upgraded version has a way bigger radius. I think this is how it works, because I was so surprised when I upgraded my Garlic. Like, what the hell happened to the strong knockback? And I think that's what's going on. And then, oh, it's the cross. Huh? Yeah, that was the cross. Amazing. Okay, now I can use them. That makes sense. But yeah, and if the Evolved Garlic actually has weaker knockback than the main Garlic, the normal one, it's straight up worse. It's just worse. As stupid as that sounds. Because the one health healing it gives you, randomly at times it feels, is nothing. You need 30 of those, and they are just not fast enough that they would matter. Like 30 of those would be one chicken. It's just not worth it. Now, again, I don't know how much it increases like some people said it increases the damage that weapons do, weapons inflict on the enemy and stuff like this. If this is true, then you would need to look at how much damage increase does it give, how much damage does it do on its own, and is there another weapon that could beat that? Which then becomes really hard to do, unless the enemies don't even get on the circle of the Garlic because you have so much stuff to push them out, right? And that's like the thing where you have to look at all the cases, scenarios. Do you want to talk about an endgame or like a fully upgraded character that has all the power-ups in the game that you can get for gold? Or do you want to talk about someone who just started? Or do you want to talk about someone who is somewhat in the mid-game and has the core upgrades, like the best ones you should go for? That's all the things that you have to consider at that time. Like, I think Garlic has potential, but I think it's just, for general purposes, not good enough. For our gold run, amazing. The savior. The only reason why we did it. Or almost did it. We were like 30 seconds away. I'm still so tilting. I think it was 24 seconds, and we would have had a record that is like 2 to 3k gold above the old record. Not just our record, that's the highest record that I've seen in like the Steam community and on Reddit. I've not seen anyone having a higher number. So that would have been insane. Like, just for reference, the old record was around, I think, 13.7 or 13.6k. Or I think it was 13.5 and 13.6. And I think, with our record, we actually have the highest one in the game right now that is, well, published. You know, there are probably a lot of people that have higher numbers, but they just never put it online. I can only compare with stuff that is online, right? But in that run, if it succeeded, if it finished, we would have gotten to around 16k. So you could have imagined how this would have felt if the highest record previously was 13.5, 13.6k, and then you come around the corner with 16k on an entirely different hero that is considered a meme. That would have been really something else. And instead, I die. I rewatched the video and I was so tilted afterwards because I got so excited that I didn't think properly anymore. What I should have done is I should have still followed the Hellfire blindly, because following the Hellfire and taking damage from some enemies is way better than staying where I am and taking damage from every single enemy around me. I have to plug in my phone into the charger, so just a second. And the other thing was, like, the other problem was I should have prepared a freezing item, you know, that freezes all the enemies. Just on the ground, in case I need it, that I can use it right away. Because that would have given me enough time to roam, to get all, like, for example, one that clears the screen, or one that freezes the screen again from other candles. And that could have won us the game there. And instead, well, possibly still the highest number I've ever seen, I think. Because I think the oldest was like 13,650 or something like this. It's something below the number we have, but only in like 10 or 20, 30 gold, something like that. And that's really sad. That you had it right in front of you. And then it failed because you got too excited, because you got too nervous, and you didn't think anymore. And, like, honestly, I was looking at that, and I saw that we weren't taking damage. So I was like, oh my god, we did it. Like, in my head, I was already calculating how much gold will we get at the very end. To how much gold will that lead in that run and everything. And, yeah. Then it failed. And it was over. It's so sad. Still can't believe it. Oh well. It is what it is. But now we know for the future, always keep a freezer around, and always have a, what is it called? Also an orb collector, right? That collects all the experience orbs. Because that is like, that allows you to collect all the orbs that were laying around from 2 minutes where you couldn't collect them because you can't move anymore. And this will give you like, probably 10 to 20 to 30 levels. Because the last enemies will give you a ton of experience. You'll see red orbs all over the floor because they give so much experience and it accumulates into the orbs. And they permanently respawn. They don't stop spawning. So if you have an orb collector in the last 5 seconds activated, you collect the experience within 5 seconds because it's all around you. It's super fast. And you will get a buttload of levels. That's one thing I was missing, and the other thing was that I was missing was I didn't have a freezer. But I wasn't thinking of that, to be honest. The reason why I took the freezer, the orb collector in the game at that point was because I saw or thought I would be dying. And I just wanted to see roughly to what spot in the game could I have gotten gold-wise. Like, to guess it better, right? Like, if I die without collecting the experience, then all I could have done is guessing at best. And then just say, yeah, and then it was 1 minute in the future, so you would have had a bit more experience and stuff like this. But yeah, I was fearing that I would die, so I wanted to have the best guess on how much gold we had. And we got a lot of level ups at the very end. Actually, it was really bad, because the level ups kind of locked me into a level up screen. So yeah, that didn't help. I should have just waited. I should have just gambled, you know? Let me finish with 12k gold, whatever, fine. if I die, but get a better chance at surviving, because I keep my mind on the screen, I keep my mind in the game, I don't start doing stupid things, because the moment I saw how much gold we had, and that we will definitely get the record by far, by like 1 to 2k gold, it was just brain dead. Sad life. I will complain about that for a while, by the way. Like, I'm still looking back on the video and just, like, I see the moment and I know what I thought in that moment and how excited I got that we will make it. And I thought, because we've beat it for, like, 36 seconds, there's no way that we fail now, right? Like, why would we fail now all of a sudden? Yeah, well. Well. But we'll have another chance in the future, and it will be a better chance. It won't help for the late game, obviously, but it will help that we get the runs more consistently and easily, because we don't unlock certain weapons and items in the game. That will help us just to get there faster. It won't help us to get luckier, as in surviving the run, but it will help us to get the right items and the right weapons. And the rest will just be RNG, decisions on the spot in the game, right? And yeah, that's pretty much it. Boy, I wish I could somehow cheat gold in. Like, if you have an idea in your mind that you want to do badly, but then you realize you have to start a new file, and you have to play in a certain way that lowers the amount of gold that you get, but you need 97k gold or something is what you need to unlock everything. That's just very frustrating. Like, look at how taunting they are down there. These little fuckers. They just blink their life out. And now I want to collect the gold that is on the right there, but I'm not going to risk it because I learned my lesson. I'm not going to reset another run just because of that. Or, well, all the 4 out of the game. Where's up there, by the way? That's a coin, but I don't see what's behind that. What's it behind that? Is that gold or is that... Why does it look like a piece of brown toilet paper? What is... No, that's gold. Ooh, can I... Oh my god, if there... Okay, nothing activated. No freezing. Okay, we are good. Living on the edge. There we go. I'm not gonna go for the bottom one. I'm not gonna go there. I think the top one there, here, has the clock behind it or so. So we can't collect that. Because that will permanently unlock the associated item or weapon. For the experience orb collector, it's an item, and for the freezing thing, it's a weapon. And that will just take up slots, right, from the stuff that we get in the game. But it's so painful to do these runs, if you can't just randomly start collecting all the experience. It's so useful. Wait a second, there's a chest on the floor. We have a Fire 1 upgrade, nice. Careful that I don't accidentally walk into something. Every time I see the gold down there, I want to have it. Do I risk it? I mean, there's not a lot that can go wrong, right? Like, if I do it carefully, like this, and then I just tap to the left slightly, and always wait a bit, and if it drags in, we got it. Nice. The good thing is we can't just accidentally pick up the freezing orb and the experience gatherer orb without noticing it. Because one pulls in all the energy, yes. One pulls in all the experience, the other one freezes all the enemies. We will see it. But then we have to alter 4 and waste a run, just like the last one. Yay. Alright. So where do I stay? I want to stay stationary in a spot. I think up here. I used to stay... No, I actually used to stay on the left side here. And for some reason that I don't understand, the left side here worked better than the right side. Despite the right side having a double as wide bookshelf below it. But I think that's just because it blocks more enemies on the right side. But on the left side we can still attack the enemies with our magic wand if I position like this. Yeah, probably that's the reason. And here it's super easy to defend your position. The only problem is you don't get the experience if you don't walk out. But then again, there's also no real reason that you have to do it. Eventually they'll form into a red orb, red experience orb, and then you just collect the red ones. Oh, well, okay. Yeah, I just remembered we need the luck. The clover. That was the reason why I kept breaking the candles. Yeah, let's look for one. Do we have luck? No. We have 40%, that's a base 30%, and the 10% from the hyper mode. I had to think what its name was. Well, not was, is. It's still the name. But was when I picked it. Dude, do you just want to trigger me? You know what? This is a toxic environment. I'm leaving. Oh, there's a chest on the ground. I'm coming back. I'm in for the money. But after that, I'm leaving. Once you don't have money anymore, I'm leaving. I could pick up this one down there, but I would risk 2.5k gold plus any gold that we would get this run just for 15 gold. That's not worth it. So at one point we will see a huge red orb appear. Well, it's not huge, but it will be huge as in how much experience we get. It will just appear and we have to look out for that. Because that's all the stuff on the left side that we left behind accumulating into one red orb. Oh, how did that happen? Nice, good, good, good. That's very good. Thank you. How good is that spot, by the way? I wonder. It doesn't look better because I think... Can't enemies still... No, they can't. Like, they can get through here and through here. But this might be better than the other spot, you know? Maybe. Okay, did we see anything red, by the way? No, there's nothing red. Okay, it didn't accumulate yet. It either... Oh, yeah, no, that wasn't it. That was just a random red blob. It would be way, way more experience. The moment we pretty much just get like 2 or 3 levels at once, that's the moment where we know they accumulated. I don't know if it depends on distance, like once you get far enough away they appear, or just time. It could be either. Or maybe even a mixture of both. Like, if you reach a certain distance, then it accumulates, and if you don't leave, like if you don't walk away, then it just happens after a certain amount of time. But I have a theory it's distance, not time. No, that theory is wrong. I just remembered, I tested that. Well, it's not a definitive test, right? You would need to test all kinds of cases to have a definitive answer. But I'm pretty certain it's not time, it's distance. Wow, but we are killing enemies really fast here right now. That's good. That's really good. Because the boss at 25 minutes will appear. And he killed me just recently when I wasn't looking. It's always him. Because he doesn't get pushed back. That's where the Holy Wand kind of shines. Because the more you push back the enemy, the more he stutters and just like... He stays where he is. And the Holy Wand attacks him very frequently with pushback. Like, for this particular enemy, that's the only reason why I have the Holy Wand rated as it is. And even with the Holy Wand, he still walks after us, and we still have to be careful. But it's a huge improvement, and this guy walks through bookshelves, I tested that. Okay, now we have to be very, very careful. There he is. And watch this, Holy Wand attacking him. Watch how much he stutters. Do you see that? It's insane. Just because of the Holy Wand. Without that, he would fluently walk to us. Just rarely get stuttered by the scythe. And by the hellfire, and that's it. But now he's just stutter walking as long as we actually shoot at him and don't shoot at another enemy. And that, right? Holy Wand, focused on him, and that's why he died so quickly. Amazing. Okay, but I would still like to get all of the experience that are left on the ground, you know? I kind of relied on that. That red orb would form. What just happened? There was a weird squishy sound. Wait, I thought I saw a green one. I think that was our garlic healing us. Yeah, there again. It's so weird. Why does it start healing us now? We are full health. What? Was it there the entire time and never noticed it? Gold. Thank you. Do we have more luck? No, we didn't find one. There's a red orb. Please tell me it's like 5 levels. No, it's not. Oh. That was just like normal orbs that accumulated together. How far do I have to walk for that? Oh, is it? No, it's not. I just did that in the last run. It's not like it's old, like, okay, not last run, but in one run that I did today. It's not like I'm just totally making this bullshit up. Come on. Where are you? We're closing in on 28 minutes, and that's the time where you can't move anymore. So even if it moves over to you, you're just rip. You can't get it. Ooh. Would that have any use? Yeah, I think I'll stay here. That might be a decent help to win this. At like 29, 30, I might use this. Or if the enemies just get too close. No, that's bad. I think. Yeah. Because I think... What the hell? They're just walking outside of the map. Like, I know they can glitch through the wall, but that was excessive. That was like way beyond anything that's reasonable. They can push each other outside of the map pretty much. So the more enemies that are there, the more this can happen. But that was like, what the hell? And didn't I see another boss? No? Another Medusa somewhere at the top? No? Okay. Oh yeah, there she is. Okay. So, did my experience not accumulate into the big pile somewhere? Oh, there's a red one. No, there was a normal one. Again, we would instantly notice it because it would give us like 5 levels or so. At this point, maybe even more. The other ones are just normal enemies that accumulate experience. But there you see how much experience they give, right? And this ramps up. This will just get bigger and bigger and bigger the more enemies spawn. And that's why I want, like, when I have the actual gold record run, why I want to have one experience orb sucker below me, so I can just walk on it and collect all the experience at the very end to get as many level ups as possible. Okay, careful, careful, careful. Yeah, now I have to walk more slowly. This is actually where you don't want to walk anymore. Okay, this makes it now really hard to find the real red experience orb that accumulated out of all. There are just so many on the floor. Oh, is it? We hit it! Oh my god, we hit it! Yes, that's the one. Like, do you see how our experience is already maxed out? That's the one. Because it gave us so much experience. This will go on for a while now. Okay, still not done, by the way. Always when you see that the bar at the very top is still filled out, it's still from the original one that we collected. Okay, scratch the 5 levels that I said. That's a bit more than 5 levels. But it worked. You see, that's what I meant. Because there's no way these people around us here gave us that much experience. They give us fast experience, as you can see, but not this much. Okay, let's find a spot where we are secure. Oh my god, am I walking into enemies? It's hard to see. Yeah, I have it turned off. That doesn't help. Wait a second. Ah. Oh yeah, that helps a lot. Wow. I mean, not as much as I was hoping for, but that helps a lot. I think we are guaranteed to die. Because now the toughest enemies start spawning. And I wanted to be in a different spot. Oh, there's a chest down there. Don't do this to me. Oh no. Because even if we survive, I can't get to the chest in time before the death kills us. I think with the crosses we have enough pushback to make this happen. I don't want to jinx it, because all it takes is one enemy that starts hitting you, and he can solo kill you. Okay, when do I start running for the chest? I think now. It's dangerous, but I think now, because I just have to be close enough. Oh my god. Yes! Hey, there's the guy, by the way. If you ever wanted to see a still picture of him, that's him. Wow, that is so disappointing to give me that shit chest now. Do you know what I just risked for you? I don't think... Yeah, oh lol, that's hilarious. Imagine I just kept leveling up. Yeah, so check this out, like right now we have 7129 gold. So you would expect we get 500 gold out of this. But you know that the hyper mode increases it by 50%, so you would expect 750 gold, right? So it would be 8879. 7879. Well, let's see if that's true. It's not. 7879. We got way more because we obviously we also have the gold increases. So we got around, I think, 1.4k, if I'm not mistaken. So when I said we would have gotten 1.5k at the end of the 13.6k run to get beyond 15k, that was not joking or making up numbers. That would have happened. And then we would have also gotten gold from leveling up, like we did at the end here, where we got the little gold extras. Each one is 75 gold at max gold. And yeah, we would have probably gotten to 16k gold. That was like no jokes, no upspeaking of my own run or something. I think we had a solid chance there. And I messed it up for no reason. How much gold do you cost? 18... Oh, okay, yeah, that's easy. 14k. So, we might not be able to buy it now because it's not worked out perfectly. Amazing. Wait, what did I just do? That was stupid. How much gold do I have left? 1, 2, 3. Let's give it a try if we can get 3 levels of growth in. Was that right? Wait, let me check. Yeah. 3 levels of growth. 3 levels of you. 5 levels of you. Oh my god, it worked out. Okay, that's like the best stuff we can get right now. Do I go for area or do I go for might? Or even projectile speed. It doesn't do a lot, to be honest. Move speed also. Actually, moves... Is move speed better? Because I walk around a lot. Yeah, it could actually be better. Let's just grab it. So that was it for today. As I said, I'm preparing this account. I will try to play it up offline just to have all the, the stuff. And of course, the goal is to keep away the achievements for these and this. So we save 1 weapon, 1 item. Do we save anything else, by the way? I never did a count. Okay, yeah. 2 weapons, 2 items, 3 items. No, yeah, that's an item, yeah. 3 weapons, 3 items, and that's it. And as I said in the very beginning, you could take this to a more extreme, where you never reach the minute 10, and you always quit before that, and then you don't get the pentagram and the picone, so you would not receive 5 weapons and 3 items. Then there is... No, 4 items and 3... 4 weapons and 3 items, yeah. And then there is this one. You could also make it work, but you would have to make a ton of resets to get a clover prior to it. Because you get them out of light sources, so you would have to destroy like 19 and then reset if you didn't get it, 19, reset if you didn't get it, reset, forever. But it also means you drop a huge experience source. And there was another one at the very beginning. Something with reaching level... No, I don't think there's anything else. Like, all the other stuff is even stuff that you want, right? Even the Hellfire one is debatable. Oh yeah, this one here. Do not defeat a total of 5,000 enemies. That would work. No, would that work? I'm not sure. Well, it would work if you only focus... okay, this becomes super difficult. It would work if you would only kill bosses and you avoid killing other enemies. No, you can kill other enemies. That's no problem, actually. Yeah, because you just can't play for too long, right? 10 minutes is the limit. So you can actually play regularly and just always, like, kill... Nah, but you can't kill normal enemies. You somehow have to only damage the boss and get to 79k gold. 97k gold, sorry. Yeah, either way. So that's not worth it for me. Like, yeah, I want to improve my odds, but I don't want to have something where I stop playing after 10 minutes or 20 minutes simply because it's not worth it. In fact, no, wait, oh, it doesn't even work. I'm stupid because you can't unlock the hyper mode otherwise. You have to get to 25 minutes to unlock it. So these are mandatory. And these were like the easiest ones you could have avoided. Never mind. Ignore everything I said. Yeah, because you want to play on hyper mode for gold records. So this one is the only one that would probably work. And then again, other stuff like Rosary and Stone Mask, you could just avoid picking these up. Like, I regret that I picked them up because while it would have been a lot more annoying, I would have had a super clean file. So if I want to do a level run where I only care about max level, then the Stone Mask wouldn't appear, right? I would just load the super clean file and then unlock whatever I want to have for that file while already having all the power ups ready. And that would have been the easiest one, but that would also have been like super tedious. But yeah, that was it. I hope you enjoyed it. See you the next time, and maybe even tomorrow I can already start the record runs for gold. Maybe we will hit the 16k. I don't know. But I think it will be the day after tomorrow. So yeah, that was it. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll stream again tomorrow at 7 p.m. CET, and I'm out. Bye bye.